Hello, and welcome to my channel.
Amelia Sullivan had always been drawn to the supernatural. Growing up in a small village, she would spend hours listening to the old folk tales and ghost stories told by her grandmother. Now, as a young governess in Victorian London, Amelia found herself surrounded by the hustle and bustle of the city, but still yearning for the mysterious and unknown. It was Halloween night, and the air was heavy with anticipation. Amelia had finished her duties for the day and decided to indulge in her fascination with the supernatural. She had always believed that on this night, when the barrier between the living and the dead was at its thinnest, anything was possible. As she made her way through the dimly lit streets, Amelia's mind wandered to the library where she worked. It was a grand old building, filled with ancient books and hidden corners. The thought of exploring its depths on such a night sent a thrill down her spine. With a quickened pace, Amelia reached the library. The door creaked open, welcoming her into its mysterious embrace. The flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the walls as she made her way through the aisles. Finally, she arrived at the section dedicated to occult literature. Amelia ran her fingers along the spines of the books, feeling a strange energy emanating from them. Her eyes fell upon a worn leather-bound book that seemed out of place among its companions. Curiosity piqued, she pulled it from the shelf and blew off the layer of dust that coated it. Opening the book, Amelia found herself immersed in a world of forbidden knowledge. It was Victor Blackwood's journal, a man known for his involvement in occult practices. The pages were filled with intricate diagrams, cryptic symbols, and detailed descriptions of dark rituals. Her heart raced as she read through the journal, realizing that Victor Blackwood had plans for a ritual that would bring chaos and darkness to London. It was a chilling revelation, and Amelia knew she had stumbled upon something that could not be ignored. Please support my channel by liking and subscribing. Amelia's mind was consumed with thoughts of Victor Blackwood and his nefarious plans. She couldn't simply stand by and let him unleash chaos upon the city she loved. Determined to stop him, she embarked on an investigation, seeking clues about his whereabouts and intentions. Her first lead came from a fellow governess, Miss Abigail Collins, who had overheard whispers among the staff about Victor's involvement in the occult. Amelia sought her out and found her in the park, feeding pigeons. "Abigail," Amelia called out, her voice carrying a note of urgency. Abigail turned, surprised to see Amelia. "Amelia, what brings you here? Is something the matter?" Amelia took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. "I need your help, Abigail. I've stumbled upon something dark and dangerous. Victor Blackwood, the man known for his occult practices, is planning a ritual that could bring chaos to London." Abigail's eyes widened in shock. "Goodness. We must do something to stop him." Amelia nodded. That's exactly what I intend to do. But I need information. Have you heard anything about Victor's whereabouts or any possible accomplices? Abigail furrowed her brow, deep in thought. I overheard the maids talking about a gathering at his mansion tonight. They mentioned something about an initiation ceremony. Amelia's heart raced with excitement. Tonight? That's Halloween night. It must be when he plans to perform the ritual. Abigail nodded. I fear you may be right. But how do we find his mansion? It's said to be hidden from prying eyes. Amelia smiled, a glimmer of determination in her eyes. We'll find a way, Abigail. We'll gather as much information as we can and uncover the truth. London must be protected. Armed with newfound determination, Amelia and Abigail set out on their quest to uncover Victor Blackwood's plans. They knew they needed more information about his occult activities and the location of his mansion. Their first stop was a small occult bookstore on the outskirts of town. The shopkeeper, Mr. Isaacson, was known for his extensive knowledge of the supernatural. As they entered the shop, the scent of old books and incense filled the air. Mr. Isaacson looked up from behind the counter, a knowing smile on his face. Ah, Miss Sullivan and Miss Collins, he greeted them warmly. What brings you to my humble establishment today? We seek information about Victor Blackwood, Amelia replied, her voice filled with determination. We believe he is planning a dark ritual that could bring chaos to London. Mr. Isaacson's smile faded, replaced by a look of concern. Victor Blackwood is a dangerous man, my dears. His involvement in the occult is well known among those who dabble in such matters. We need to stop him, Abigail interjected. But we don't know where his mansion is or who his accomplices might be. Mr. Isaacson stroked his beard thoughtfully. I may have heard whispers about a secret society that Victor is a part of. They meet in hidden locations throughout the city. If you can find one of these gatherings, you may find the answers you seek. Amelia's eyes lit up with excitement. Do you know how we can find one of these gatherings? Mr. Isaacson leaned closer, his voice dropping to a whisper. There's a tavern on the outskirts of town. The locals call it the Raven's Nest. It's said to be a meeting place for those involved in the occult. Perhaps you'll find what you're looking for there. Amelia and Abigail thanked Mr. Isaacson for his help and left the shop, their minds filled with new possibilities. They knew they were getting closer to uncovering Victor's plans and stopping him once and for all. Amelia and Abigail made their way to the Raven's Nest, a tavern shrouded in mystery. Its dark exterior seemed to blend seamlessly with the night, making it difficult to spot from a distance. As they entered, the atmosphere inside was thick with smoke and hushed conversations. They found a secluded corner table and observed the patrons, hoping to catch a glimpse of anyone who might be connected to Victor Blackwood. Amelia's heart raced as she scanned the room, her eyes landing on a group of individuals huddled together, deep in conversation. "Abigail, look," Amelia whispered, nudging her companion. "That group over there seems suspicious. Let's try to get closer." They discreetly made their way toward the group, eavesdropping on their conversation. The words ritual, initiation, and Blackwood caught their attention. Amelia leaned closer, trying to catch more snippets of conversation. "We must gather at the old abandoned church by midnight," one of the individuals said. "Victor Blackwood will lead us in the ritual that will bring forth chaos and darkness." Abigail's eyes widened in alarm as she looked at Amelia. "The old abandoned church? That must be where the ritual is taking place." Amelia nodded, her mind racing with thoughts of how they could disrupt the ritual and prevent the chaos from being unleashed. She knew they needed help, and she had an idea of where to find it. Amelia and Abigail raced against the clock to gather evidence and find a way to disrupt Victor Blackwood's plans. They knew that time was running out, and the fate of London hung in the balance. Their investigation led them to a group of like-minded individuals who were also determined to stop Victor. Among them were Dr. Jonathan Hawthorne, a renowned occult expert, and Lady Elizabeth Ashford, a wealthy philanthropist with a keen interest in the supernatural. Together, they formed a plan to confront Victor on Halloween night, just as he began the ritual. They knew it would be dangerous, but they were willing to risk everything to protect the city they loved. As the clock struck midnight, Amelia and her allies made their way to the old abandoned church. The moon shone brightly overhead, casting an eerie glow on the crumbling walls. Inside, they found Victor Blackwood surrounded by his followers, all chanting in unison. Amelia's heart pounded in her chest as she stepped forward, her voice filled with determination. "Victor Blackwood, your plans end here," she declared, her voice echoing through the empty church. Victor turned to face her, a sinister smile playing on his lips. "Ah, Amelia Sullivan. I had hoped you would join us willingly. But it seems I underestimated your determination." Amelia stood tall, her eyes blazing with defiance. "I will never join you, Victor. Your plans for chaos and darkness will not succeed." Victor's smile widened as he stepped closer. "You may think you can stop me, but you are no match for the power I possess." Amelia's heart raced as she searched for a way to outsmart him. Suddenly, an idea struck her. She reached into her bag and pulled out a vial of holy water, holding it up for all to see. "This may not be enough to defeat you, Victor," she said, her voice steady. "But it will be enough to disrupt your precious ritual." With a swift motion, Amelia threw the vial toward the altar, where it shattered, splashing holy water over the symbols and candles. The room erupted in chaos as Victor's followers scattered, their chants disrupted. Amelia's actions had disrupted Victor Blackwood's ritual, preventing chaos from being unleashed upon London. As the authorities arrived to apprehend him and his followers, Amelia felt a sense of relief and accomplishment. The news of her bravery spread quickly throughout London, and she became known as the governess who had stopped Victor Blackwood. Her actions were celebrated, and she was hailed as a hero. But Amelia knew that her journey was far from over. She had seen the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of Victorian society, and she was determined to shine a light on it through her writing. In the weeks that followed, Amelia wrote a captivating story about the shadows of the Thames, weaving elements of truth and fiction together. The book became an instant success, captivating readers with its thrilling tale of light triumphing over darkness. Amelia continued to pursue her passion for writing, becoming a renowned author in her own right. She used her experiences and the lessons she had learned to inspire others and shed light on the hidden corners of society. As she reflected on her journey, Amelia realized that hope and strength could prevail even in the darkest of times. She had witnessed firsthand the power of determination and the resilience of the human spirit. And so, as she sat at her desk, pen in hand, Amelia vowed to continue writing stories that would inspire others to face their own shadows and find the light within.